In the last lesson, we created our Jobber app. Now the next step is to connect our Jobber app to our HighLevel account and to our Jobber client account. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about OAuth 2. OAuth 2 is based on a cybersecurity principle known as the principle of least privilege. It means only give access to what's absolutely necessary, nothing more. Think of it like hiring a freelance video editor. You'd give them access to the video footage folder, not your whole Google Drive, right? Same idea here. When software talks to another software, we want to limit access to just what's needed. That way, if something breaks or gets hacked, the damage is minimal. That is where OAuth 2 comes in. Instead of handing over a full access API key, like giving someone the keys to your entire house, OAuth 2 lets you say, I just need access to this one room. And the system replies, here's a pass that only works for that room, and only for a short time. The user is in control. They can see what access is granted, and they can shut it off at any time. As someone building high-level integrations, you'll start running into this quite a bit, especially when working with Google, Facebook, Stripe, and other platforms. Before we continue, look at the links in the lesson description with additional study material. Please review the video and the article before continuing. Great. Now that you've reviewed the video and the article, let's take a look at Jobber's specific implementation of the OAuth 2 flow. You can find this in the Documents section. Go to Building Your App and App Authorization. Please review this before continuing. Welcome back. Now that you've reviewed the Jobber documentation, and I'm glad you didn't skip the step because the quiz questions will be related to this, let's go on and do a practical implementation of this process. Let's go over to our HighLevel account, and you can see in our automation section, we have a series of folders for our automations. We're going to go into folder 2, and we're going to open up our Create Jobber Client workflow. This is the first workflow in the customer journey that utilizes the connection with Jobber. Let's scroll down and we're going to go to the Fetch Client Properties action. What we're doing here is we need to create an OAuth 2 access token. You can see that authorization for this workflow is set to OAuth 2, and we're going to select New Access Token. So let's give our token a name. I'm just going to call it Jobber. The authorization URL and the access token URL can be found in the lesson description of this video. Pause the video if needed and copy and paste those into this field. Great. Now that you've got your URLs, we need to get our client ID. In this case, we're going to get this from our app in the Jobber Development Center. So go over to our app, select the 3 dots, and we're going to select Copy Client ID. Paste that in. Now we need our client secret. Go back over to the Development Center and select Copy Client Secret. And paste that in. The scopes box can be left empty, and the redirect URL is a read-only value that can't be modified. You may recognize this URL because we used it when we created our app in the previous video. Now that we've done this, we're going to request an access token, and you're going to see live exactly how this flow works. What just happened is HighLevel created a URL, and that URL loaded this page in Jobber. What we're doing is we're requesting an authorization code from Jobber using our client ID. Now, if I wasn't logged into my Jobber account, there would be a login page here first. But since I'm already logged in, it's going to list the scopes that the app is requesting access to. Click Allow Access, and we're going to get an OK. You're going to notice that this URL up here is the same URL that was used in our redirect URL down here. HighLevel received the authorization code, which you can see the code here is in the URL, and saved it to the system. Now we have a new access token that we can use. Let's test our token to make sure that it works. Our account is loaded with a bunch of fictitious individuals. So let's send a test request. And success. For this particular individual, we just requested some info about them and about the properties that are stored in the Jobber account. We verified from the HighLevel side that the token works, but we can also view the app connection in our Jobber account. So in our Jobber test account, we can scroll down in the left menu to Apps. Scroll to the very bottom and we can see that our Operation Service Stack demo app is connected. We can also now go in here and take a look at our clients. And we can find the one that we just did our request on right here. And here's the property associated with them. Let's go back to HighLevel and let's cover a little bit about token management. To do this, go to Global Workflow Settings. And you can see that our tokens are managed here. If we select Manage Tokens and look at our tokens, occasionally our tokens will need to be refreshed. If you make a change in the scopes on your app, you will need to generate a new authorization code and therefore new access token. To update this, just come into the Manage Tokens box, click Update, and again, paste your client secret. Again, select Request Access Token. And you can see that our authentication was complete. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Great job. Now in the next section, we're going to talk about the workflows in the Snapshot and how they actually function.